Hi you guys, so I wanted to do a pick a pal reading, basically how I do my ascension reads, like the type of ascension reads that I do. And so I'm going to do it in the same format in that I do those, so you guys can kind of get a preview as to what that is. So basically an ascension read is where are you at on your soul's journey, and what the spirit wants you to know, right? So here are the three piles. Pile number 1, I believe that's a Lemurian quartz or some kind of quartz. Pile number 2, that's Prainite. It's a light green stone, and pile 3 is this amethyst pyramid. Okay, so go ahead and pick a pile, 1, 2, or 3, and we'll get started. So pile number 1, and by the way, I haven't looked at these cards. If you pick this, I always get very ancient vibes from this, so you can be an old soul if you pick this pile, and that probably resonates with you. All right, so what I do is that I check the Akashic, I check the 5D with the Osho Zen, and then I use the Patch Tarot for where you're at in the 3D as well. And then I've got some oracle cards for clarification. Which guide is with you at this time. What's your journey advice for the journey? And where are you growing with the Soul Tree Oracle? Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the Akash, because that's looking backwards in order to look forward, right? So you've got the One of Keys, which is the Architect. The Keys is the earthly realm. It can be the Pentacles, but this deck is really particular, and I like to go based on what I intuitively read from the cards. So we know that the Ace of Pentacles is a new beginning. In this deck, it's called the Architect. Again, here I was saying we have those ancient vibes. Definitely have those Egyptian vibes here. May have some past life in Egypt. There is a masculine here, and there is a feminine. And then there's a bunch of workers up here too. So I definitely feel like on your journey at this time, you come from past lives where you needed to be the architect of your life. You needed to build. You needed to focus yourself and groups of people for a certain goal, most likely spiritual goal is what I'm getting. And so you've done this, and you're probably doing this in this life as well. You've done this over lifetimes, being a spiritual leader, being a spiritual teacher, building on a future, building on your lessons, right, in your past lives. So again, that masculine energy definitely feels like the more prominent energy, where the feminine feels like she's just sitting back and watching. And so I definitely feel that you are working on that masculine energy, of acting, of doing in the physical realms, okay? And this is something, again, that has come from past lives, you directing other people and being in that masculine energy, okay? So for your 5D card, you've got the 9 of Wands, and this card here reads exhaustion. So because you've done this in many past lives, you may feel kind of tired of this, tired of being the more masculine energy, forcing things to happen or directing things to happen. You feel spiritually tired, okay? And in the 3D card, you've got the Sun in reverse, which in this deck is narcissism, okay? So there may be some narcissism involved. There may be people in your life that are narcissists, that are reflecting narcissism to you, because this is stuff that has come from past lives, that has you exhausted from the spiritual aspect of things. And Spirit is just asking you to break through this, right? You want to bring this upright. This is the loveliest card in the deck. It is the Sun. And because it's here, it's a major arcana. It's a powerful card. The energy is there, and this is part of your soul's journey. Part of your soul's journey is to get past the narcissism, the part that feels it needs to control, the part that needs to make everything about you, okay? There's people in your life that may be reflecting this to you, people who seem selfish, people who you look at them that way, but in fact, your soul is just trying to reflect to you an aspect of yourself that needs to be healed from past lives, and from your soul, okay? So again, everything happens for a reason. And this is all for your awakening, okay? So you're currently going through energetic upgrades and a new way of being, and you're integrating. And this could be part of the reason why you're exhausted as well, Okay, you're exhausted from all the work, the spiritual work, the physical work, the need to control, the others needing to control you. So just understand that this is a time where you need to rest, you need to help your body integrate what your soul has gone through in the past and going forward, right? And Spirit is saying, this is a narrow pathway, tread thoughtfully. If you're being, I'm really gathering from Power One that you're being triggered by people in your life. And so if that's so, tread thoughtfully. Look at this as a mirror, okay? It may seem hazy, it may seem like a mountain to overcome, but just understand that you're growing. You see the tree growing from the mountain. You're growing from this mountain, okay? And then for your guide, you got Radha, Soul Flame, rediscover a lost part of yourself, experience relationship, harmony, and healing. Again, this reflecting, this mirroring that's going on, this integration that's going on because of what you, yourself, your soul has gone through past lives in needing to control. These people that are trying to control you, this is just part of you learning, okay, and working through that karma, and healing from that, okay, and that it will bring relationship harmony and healing for you, your relationship with yourself, and as well your relationship with others. And these upgrades and integration will also help you come into your magic. Like, that's what this is about. It's realizing that we're all connected. It's all one. We're all one with each other. And that everybody is a reflection. Then you become magical. You realize that now you can stop attracting people who are controlling by being less controlling, by forgiving yourself for being controlling with others, by forgiving people from your past, from your upbringing, for them wanting their control, for saying, I'm tired of this. I'm moving beyond this. I'm going to illuminate this part of myself that I don't like, that's being triggered, because it wouldn't be triggered if it wasn't a part of you. And I'm using that to embrace my magic. Okay, pile number 1, I hope that helps. And I'm going to move on to pile number 2. So pile number 2, you picked Prehnite. This is a heart healing stone, so you may be going through some emotions at this time. We had a Cancer moon. And look at that, your Akasha card is the waterfall. So again, I'm going to explain to you guys, I use the Akash as the past life Akashic influence in your soul's path. I use the Osho Zen as the 5D. And I use the Patch Tarot as the 3D. And this is the Hierophant upright. So wow, a lot of spiritual energy here. Definitely a spiritual path for you. Wow, beautiful, beautiful. My throat chakra, I don't know if you heard it, my voice just went. So, you may be having a throat chakra activation at this time. Maybe speaking your truth about your spiritual journey. Just understand that you're here to guide others, okay? And you've ascended to the point that you have in this life because you're here to guide others, okay? And you've got the Prehnite because you're healing your voice, your heart, your spirituality, your ability to speak to others about this, okay? So 6 of Forces. The Forces is actually the wands. It's not the water suit in this deck. And as you know, the 6 of Wands is generally a victory card. It's ascension. It's you've come a long way. You've cleared the path from your past to progress forward into a more ascended version of yourself. There is a lot of emotions. The waterfall is a powerful force of nature. It crashes down onto the rocks and then it spreads into all that is. And that's really what your spirituality is guiding you to do. It's guided you through the obstacles, through the scary fall, the surrender, right, into oneness with all that is. And you are understanding this at a spiritual level. And you are also integrating this at a spiritual level. So, just be advised that if you pick number 2, you're doing the right thing. It might seem scary if you're not at that surrender part, or you're right at the edge of that surrender. Understand that this will bring success spiritually for you. And then your 5D, you've got the 4 of Wands, participation. Again, you may have come to the spiritual path via, the twin flame journey, or via some divine connection that awakened you. And you know that this was part of your path. And you are actively participating in your soul's evolution at this time. I feel like group number 2, you're the more ascended. You've already come into, you're awakening, you've awakened, you've healed, you've purged. You're still just going through the motions of it. Obviously, we never fully heal, but you are participating in your spiritual journey with others, okay? And then you've got the Hierophant. So again, more, this is the major arcana, spiritual arcana card. You are a teacher. You came here to be a teacher. You came here to teach through your own spiritual evolution. And just understand that you're right where you're supposed to be. You're a master at this, and you're mastering this in this life. Okay? In the physical, in the 3D. 10:10 I saw on the clock too. So you're at the end of major cycles and you're leveling up. Okay? So Council of Light, divine orchestration, helpers in the subtle realm. So again, you have your guides around. You're aware of your guides. You're aware of your higher connection. You're aware of your interdimensional realities. You're aware of this Council of Light. You understand that you have these helpers. Your ancestors are helping you. Your guides are helping you. Sources helping you. Ascended masters are helping you. You see Jesus here. You see Mary, Buddha, Katumi. You see so many of these spiritual teachers here, and I don't know them all, so forgive me if you see one that resonates with you and I don't mention them. Obviously you know who they are. Okay, so you are supported by a Council of Light. And then you've got Voyage of the Heart. Love flows through you and to you. Again, you're a spiritual teacher. You're here to embody unconditional love. Spirit is saying, understand that this is a voyage of the heart. Even though right before surrender it seems scary because you're leaping, just understand that this is a voyage of the heart and this is where you're meant to be. Okay, and then you've got Lady Venus, downloads and understanding. Truth is being revealed. Deep insights are coming from heaven and the astral realm. Again, you've got so many spiritual cards here. Literally all of them are spiritual cards. I definitely feel like you are the more ascended of the piles. You are getting downloads. You are integrating. You are that force and you will reach success within this spiritual aspect. You're meant to teach. You're meant to help others. You're meant to ascend higher and use your gifts and your guides and your connection to source to help others, through your heart, through your love, right? And then in your growth card, you've got possibilities. So Spirit is saying here, number one, again, with the throat chakra activity that was happening when I first started reading for this group, a lot of blue in this card. This is a tree that is growing, it doesn't have fruit, doesn't have leaves. It's like you're working on how to speak your truth spiritually to other people and how to help people grow, right? With that Hierophant, 4 of Wands, 6 of Forces energy. You're really learning how to embody this more spiritually ascended person and how to communicate that truth and how to bring that truth and that teaching to the world in a way that is helpful to you and to others. And Spirit just wants you to know that this is a voyage of the heart. The growth takes time. And you just have to start. Start with little things. Start with, by speaking to your friends about how you've ascended and how you can help them ascend. And then, maybe start a channel or maybe start an Instagram or, start, channeling that information that you're receiving in a way that will help you grow. At first it's kind of uncomfortable, but then you get through it. And, this is just confirmation to you that the possibilities are endless in the spiritual realm and that you are ascending and that you're on the right track. All right, group number 2, I hope you like that. If you'd like to book an ascension reading, by all means, contact me. So group number 3, again, I'm going to explain to you guys, I use the Akash as, the Akashic view on your ascension path. I use the Osho Zen as the 5D perspective, and I use the Patch Tarot as a 3D perspective, where you're at on your journey. And then we've got, of course, clarifiers here. All right. So, group number 3. I feel like you're just beginning on this spiritual path. You're just tapping into your abilities. Spirit is saying here, well, first, yes, you're on track. Akashically, in terms of, your karma that you've resolved, the healing that you've done, you're on track. The One of Scrolls is actually the One of Swords. So you're in line with your truth. You're in line with speaking your truth and embodying your truth, and you're getting on that train. Like you're just starting your journey onward in the spiritual path. And you've done some healing already. And I just was called to this oracle first, warrior woman, have you answered your deepest calling? It's like, because you're just getting on the train, you're like, what is my deepest calling? I feel this strength. Again, another sword, more sword energy. It's like you're stepping into your truth. You're understanding what the bigger purpose of this is, how you're connected to everything and all that is. and coming to that truth. Like if you haven't come to that truth, you are coming to that truth. You chose number 3 because this is validation to you that you are on the right path, even though you're just stepping onto it. Okay, so it's the right thing. You're standing in your truth. You're this warrior woman or man. Again, the divine feminine is that more intuitive side of us. We all embody divine feminine and masculine energy, so you can take this as being a warrior woman within, like your divine feminine energies within if you're a man watching this. So for the 5D, you've got the 10 of Pentacles. You know, we are the worlds. Again, you're coming into that understanding, into that knowing that everything and everyone is connected. Okay, and again, you know, you've got so many positive cards here on. You're on track. You know, you can help the world by helping yourself. You can heal the world by healing yourself. You know, take that first step and get on that train. You're going in the right direction. You know, you're understanding oneness and surpassing duality is what I'm getting from that 10 of Pentacles. And then you've got the 3 of Swords, so suffering. You know, oftentimes this is what the 3D looks like. So right now you may be at a stage of that healing. So when we first awaken, it's, you know, it's that dark night of the soul. It's that painful energy. It's all the wounds coming up to the surface to be healed. And you're definitely in that. You might be still in that, or you may be surpassing that energy. Okay, so you know, you've gone through some suffering, you've gone through some healing. You know, it's breaking your heart open in order to step forward on that higher path, you know, in a greater scale. Okay, and it always starts with healing. It always starts with that dark night energy. Okay, when you realize that holy cow, like this isn't everyone else that's the issue, it's me. You know, they're reflecting to me something that needs to be healed within me. Okay, and then you've got the finding sanctuary, so opening to your spiritual source. Again, I hadn't looked at all these cards and I was already gathering that information. You know, you're opening up to your spiritual source. You're taking that step onto the train, that spiritual train. You know, are you answering have you answered your deepest calling? Like those are the questions that you're asking yourself, because you're opening up to your spiritual source. And even though you don't really see what your next step is, you understand that you're going in the right direction. Okay, you are ascending into that tower. Okay, you're ascending. Even if it feels painful sometimes, this is where you need to be. Okay, and then, you know, as your guide, you got, I can't say that name, I'm not going to try it, but it says Dharma unfolding. Remember that you are on a path. Take one step at a time to happiness. Again, it's that on track card. This is meant for you. Akashically, you've done the work in past lives to get to this point where your Dharma is unfolding. Okay, and yes, it might feel painful because you're breaking through those layers of the onion that are painful for healing, but it's going to help you ascend, and it's going to help you reach people as a whole and to encompass more oneness instead of duality in this life. Okay, and you're certainly already on your way because you're here. Okay, so remember that you're on a path. Take one step at a time. And then as your growth card, you've got the psychic knowing. So again, this is what's activating. It's that third eye. It's that crown chakra. You're activating that third eye. You're coming to your truth, your spiritual truth. You're understanding that even the suffering has a purpose. You're understanding how you're connected to all that is, and you're perfectly on track to your deepest calling. Okay, so group number 3, I hope that helps. If you'd like to book an ascension read to see where you're at, and you have me as your guide, I'd be grateful to do that. You can reach me at lightwork02332@gmail.com, or follow me on Instagram, lightwork2332, for weekly updates. Thanks for tuning in. Take care, guys.